Veronica from Germany
对阵李博宪，来自中国台湾。
versus 李博宪 from Taiwan, China.
裁判员
Umpire
杨静文、刘法恒。10号台
Table 10.
运动员特拉布哈苏人，来自蒙古。
To Lafhasuran from Mongolia
对阵杨少杰，来自缅甸。
versus Feng Mingqiao from Myanmar.
裁判员
Umpire
杜怀玉、田颖。11号台
Table 11.
运动员安杜尔果恩，来自蒙古。
Andogun from Mongolia
对阵陈志强，来自新加坡。
versus Chen Zhiqiang from Singapore.
裁判员
Umpire
王新月、张月秋。12号台
Table 12.
运动员西曼舒贾恩，来自印度。
Himanshu Dinesh Jain from India
对阵雷纳莱加斯皮，来自菲律宾。
versus Reina Maria Laxby from Philippines.
裁判员
Umpire
柴新峰、李雅帆。13号台
Table 13.
运动员骆俊龙，来自马来西亚。
Luo Junlong from Malaysia
对阵郑宇桥，来自中国香港。
versus Zheng Yuqiao from Hong Kong, China.
裁判员
Umpire
张娜、匡俊涛。14号台
Table 14.
运动员海利摩尔，来自新西兰。
Hayley White from New Zealand
对阵冈罗布森道尔吉，来自蒙古。
versus Gan Lufsendorj from Mongolia.
裁判员
Umpire
蒋宇格、陆月。15号台
Table 15.
运动员白奥奇博尔德。 17号台
Table 17.
运动员阿德利格尔胡，来自蒙古。
And Doug Hu from Mongolia
对阵安德鲁佩吉特，来自英国。
versus Andrew Paget from Great Britain.
裁判员
Umpire
张婉玲、何秀红。18号台
Table 18.
运动员阿南德拉古万西，来自印度。
Anand Ragvanshi from India
对阵达乌日吉托格托赫，来自蒙古。
versus Dawuzi Tok Tok from Mongolia.
裁判员
Umpire
李丹阳、杨宇龙。19号台
Table 19.
运动员叶建宁来自中国香港。
叶建宁 from Hong Kong, China.
对阵瓦拉塔努来自泰国。运动员理查德·哈里德来自南非。
Richard Holiday from South Africa.
对阵朱利安·塞拉迪拉来自瑞士。
versus Julian Serradilla from Switzerland.
裁判员
Umpire
高若飞、宋明明。22号台
Table 22.
运动员奥巴森道尔吉来自蒙古。
Albasan Dorj from Mongolia.
对阵达伦·艾普尔顿来自英国。
versus Darren Appleton from Great Britain.
裁判员
Umpire
马嘉欣、白云佳。23号台
Table 23.
运动员达策仁巴图来自蒙古。
That's Rumbat from Mongolia.
对阵基兰·邓普西来自新西兰。
versus Kieran Dempsey from New Zealand.
裁判员
Umpire
龚璇、张梦蝶。掌声有请 TV 1号台
Let's welcome Table TV1.
运动员傅哲伟来自中国台湾。
傅哲伟 from Taiwan, China.
对阵凯撒。
傅哲伟你好，凯撒唱地家你好。傅哲伟你好，凯撒唱地家。 请双方选手争夺开球选择权，听我口令，预备，3、2、1，开始。凯撒昌迪加获得开球选择权。
台泥乔氏杯第14届中国大师赛的 TV 台现场，大家好，我是张庆勇。本场比左边，副手右边来自于乌干达的凯撒昌迪加。本场比赛是外部的第2轮抢13。
比赛开始，第1局，凯撒昌迪加开球。
上来看啊，有球扎进，开球线附近的白球，左上有一颗全色。但这盘呢，这个局势并不明朗啊。上方2号13红3，右下方这个黄1被下方花色挡。来看选球。 好，打进，再来继续啊！推高杆时，黄衣这边顶一下啊，把这右下方先解决掉。中间发球，尤其左号。K 上方的这颗23这个位置。 好，来，右下这颗推下，然后看白球，最好是能够2库推出球离库边远点，可以用杆法，还不错。那这个位置的话，就可以稍稍的带一些中高杆啊，左边持库奔着右上角的位置啊去兜一下，把这个2跟13这边带一下。 有这个想法，这个 K 的效果不好，也是不太好去打了，下拼，但是后面没有一个机会去。双方准备要去解一杆。
犯规。
好，来看看自由球。先看右边26位置，对，这边还是有点麻烦的。右下最起码说13是可以正常的校位、正常的进攻的。 摆了一个2号，好，一打一贴，下方打不到啊，只能是上方的13号球，而且这个位置的话，现在用高架杆。
犯规，
吊带犯规了。
自由球。10秒。
一直在看这摆的位置啊，这球右下方、右中啊都可以摆。后点打进，强烈的右塞低杆，然后左边吃2个下来。一点点。
Left corner. Got a few possibilities. Got the bank as well. There you see it's not really available into that. There's the bank. That's what he went for. Not the result he wanted, but I think considering the miss, he'll take that. He'll take the black ball sitting on this cushion here. It means it's not going to be an easy pot for his opponent if he does get to the black ball. Another chance now for Fu Chiwei. Both these players fighting for this first point in this match. Some really really good matches on at the moment, other than this one, of course. Got quite a few good matches. If you are looking for those other matches, head over to WPAlive.tv, where you can find all the other matches currently being streamed as well. Yeah, good pot. Needed an angle on the 3. I think he's come a little bit far. Being low on the 3 would have meant that he can drift over for the 1 ball. What is that angle looking like? Very loose cue action. That's the angle he has. It's just enough to get the cue ball over, but you can't hold for the black ball from this, unfortunately. I would say 3 options. Do you roll it in and risk it? Do you play it hard, try and get the cue ball back up and down? Or do you play the safety? Plays the safety. Clever safety. I have to say, that's a clever one. Hasn't left CEASER with the easy shot. He's forced to take the black ball away from that cushion. Now the thing is, jump shots are allowed in this game. But it doesn't look to me like he has the jump cue out. Gets it now. Picked him to get this. Was always going to be the problem though, the angle he had incoming into the 1. There's a jump shot again. Cue ball always going away from the black ball there. It's not bad. That's a tough pot from that distance. You can see how both these players are fighting for this first point. It's do or die here now. Lose this match and you are unfortunately out of the tournament. Went for the pot. Played it in a way though that he gets the cue ball back up table into the balk area. Also in that scenario, overcutting the black ball meant that you aren't leaving it. If you undercut that, it's going to stay in front of that pocket or stay on that side at least. These players, no quarter given. Neither wants to give the other a chance. I like it. They're both fighting here. But Caesar's going for it, and it's worked out. Caesar gets the first point on the board. 1-0 up in this race to 13 over Fu Wei. Now that first frame has only taken about 20 minutes to play. Let's have a look at some of the score lines, if they are moving. Yeah, see table 4, Marina Jacobs from South Africa, 2-0 up against Jeremy Chai. Table 5, Jason Taron from South Africa, 2-1 up against Jack Beggs. Gareth Potts on table 7, he's 2-0 up also at the moment. We've got Phoneman playing as well, he's on table 10. Kyle Akalu from South Africa, table 15, he's up 1-0 against Beg Orchbold from Mongolia. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those live scores as the session continues. That's a massive break. See the 5-ball in bottom left corner pocket. So Heyball rules, you pot a ball on the break, open table, your choice to make. And that is stripes in play for Fu Wei. It looks like he's planning on taking the 15 on. He is. And not into the pocket, it was closest to the cross bank. I think he's going to have to tighten things up a bit because Caesar CHINDAGA, once he warms up, he's going to be making those clearances. He's not going to want to give him a chance at the table. As I have said before, all the other tables are currently being streamed on WPALive.tv. I'll actually go on there now, have a look at it, and make sure that it's all working. I see people are looking for Kyle Akalu's match on the comment section. So I did see that's table 15. Okay, so you log on to WPALive.tv, just enter that in your browser. The address is actually top right hand side of your screen. You'll see that, and you'll see every single table being streamed there. And there we go, you click on the corresponding table number, it opens up, and you have the match live. Every single table works that smoothly. Now, if you are on a computer, or if you change your browser on your phone to desktop mode, what you can do is actually use the multi-view feature where you can put 9 matches on your screen at once. You don't have to put 9, you can put 2 or 3. whichever many matches you want to watch, as many as 9 matches. Everything seems to be working smoothly on that side. WPAlive.tv. Could see what he was trying to do there. Was trying to get into the one ball as well, open up the stripes, the bottom end of the table. Just a bit short of pace there, but he hasn't left anything relatively easy on that 10 ball, still behind the 1. I was going to ask if you think he meant that shot, but then you saw the hand go up. Raised his hand after that one. Double kiss on the cue ball. Into the center pocket goes the 10. Been a little bit unfortunate after that piece of good fortune to not be on anything at the moment. That's the only thing you could really do, is try and play a containing safety shot, but it's not very contained as there are open pots available for CEASER. This is currently stage 1 of this tournament. So the first 5 days were the qualifying stage, international and domestic qualifiers for the Chinese players and international players separately, where we took 384 players down to 96. Now CEASER comes in as a seeded player. He's a Joy Sign seeded player, so he comes into stage 1 straight away. Doesn't have to play the international qualifiers. So we went down to 96. They added the seeded players such as CEASER, Chris Melling, Gareth Potts were added to the draw. Jason Teron, Ethan Chetty. So now currently in stage 1, 128 players down to 32. And this is round 2, the losers bracket. So both these players have taken a loss already in stage 1. Black ball quite close to the bottom right corner pocket, so he just needs to make the 14. But doesn't get it, unfortunately. And that will bring CEASER back to the table Although the 7 might look like an issue, all he needs to do is get the cue ball on the side of the table. Let's see if he doesn't make contact with it now. Yeah, so if he doesn't take it out, he could play it down towards the 6 even. That's worked out really nicely. He's controlled the 7 ball well. That's CEASER switching hands. I'm sure he's not a left-handed player. He's just switched hands on that shot instead of using the rest. That's a good pot. Cue ball around, just watch the 14. Be careful of the 14. Unbelievable. The things that can happen on a 9-foot table. Expect him to make contact with this. He does. Once again, the second frame might come down to the black ball just like the first. Also trying to contain the cue ball near to the cushion, make it a bit difficult for WEI to not only pot this but get the cue ball back down for the black ball. The way he's queuing up to this tells me he's going for it. Definitely is. He's going to be on that black ball. It's not going to be easy. Giving himself a chance here has WEI to get on the scoreboard. It's not there. It's not there, and a little bit fortunate. He hasn't left it. That's why he's added a little bit more pace to that, because if you roll that in and you miss it, you're going to leave it in the pocket for your opponent. CEASER with another bank. This time it stays out. I thought it was in. I really, really thought it was in. And that's going to be first point. I had to laugh at that. The way he struck that black ball is so hard. Yeah, first point for WEI. Score is 1-1, and it will be CEASER to break in the third frame. So that's Caesar breaking in the third frame. The score is currently 1-1 here. And he's made a ball on the break once again, so he has the choice. Straight away, based on the two stripes that you see on the right side on the cushion, that'll definitely make solids a slightly easier option on the table. It's nice to see a lot of support for these players. I know we always see a lot of support for CEASER on the streams. I do see the numbers are picking up. Share the stream, let people know. You guys have been asking for CEASER all week long. We have delivered CEASER on the main TV table. At the moment, it seems like both players a little nervy as well. Once they're both warmed up, I'm sure you'll see a few more finishes coming our way. Struck that well. And that 6-ball is still available into this bottom right corner. It should also be available into the left center. Just trying to nudge the 5. He's lost the white ball slightly there and might be contemplating the cross bank shot on the 5-ball now. He is. It's close. Little tap from the cue ball might help it. Now Fu Wei from Taiwan is a professional American pool player, has done really well in the 9-ball World Championships. Got some really good results behind him. It's his first time playing in one of the Joy Heyball tournaments. Reached the final of the 2012 WPA World 8-ball Championship as well. Last 16 at the World 10-ball Championship. Had some really solid performances with some of the best 9-ball players in the world, as Fu Wei. That's the reason if you look at certain shots, you can see he's not calibrated yet to the Heyball table, and the bank shots would show you that. Nine-ball players just need a little bit of time on this table to get calibrated to it, find the center of the pocket, and work on how the cushions bounce. So just like CEASER has the nickname The Scorpion, Fu Wei's nickname is the Draw Shot Prince. Hoping to see some of that in this match as we go forward. Now that 13 into a better position. I did see a question on the YouTube stream about cleaning the cue ball. Is there a limit to it? there is no limit to cleaning the cue ball. You can clean the cue ball as many times as you want. However, it does come off your time. The shot clock is not stopped. Players get only 45 seconds per shot, so if cleaning the cue ball takes 5 to 10 seconds, that's out of your time, unfortunately. These ones are always slightly tricky. That angle coming into the pocket, you're always going outside jaw. Like that. He's played that perfectly. And also when it does come to cleaning the cue ball, it's the player who asks for the cue ball to be cleaned. The referees don't clean it unless they see something on it, but it's the player who asks. Now for some players, they can do that and it doesn't affect their rhythm, but if you're not used to doing that all the time and you start doing that, it can affect your pre-shot routine and your rhythm as well. It looks like WEI has found some sort of rhythm in this third frame. Doing well to clear these stripes. Position on the black ball could have gone a few rolls more. He's taken his extension now. I did mention players get 45 seconds a shot. They get an extra 30-second extension. That is 1 per frame. Now this black ball to take the lead and go 2-1 up. Inside jaw, it's not there. Table over to you, CEASER CHINDAGA. Play that absolutely perfectly. That is ball in hand position on the 6th ball from CEASER. Capitalizes on that missed black ball. CEASER CHINDAGA takes the lead. He's 2-1 up after 3 frames played.
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。我是代言人楚秉杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
So this is a race to 13 alternate break format, and CEASER winning the leg. It should be WEI to break in the 4th frame. I've seen some questions that why or when is Ronnie O'Sullivan joining these Heyball tournaments? You would have seen a few months back, we were actually at the Nanning Station event when he played in China. He played that exhibition match against Jingyubo and Chubingxia, which he won. But at the moment, he's, I think that match is still on. He's in China playing in the snooker tournament against Wu Yizhi. He's in the final, recently made that 153 historic clearance. from an interview I saw, it looks like he's found a new passion, a new love for the game of snooker. So I'm not sure when he'll decide to join us on the Heyball circuit. But of course, you guys will be the first to know. The likes of Chu Bingjie, Zhao Ruliang and Tang Shunshao are going to be joining this tournament when the superseded players are added in the Chinese group. Chinese group are playing down 96 to 48 when they get there. Down to 48, then add another 16 superseded players, and then they play down to 32 from there. So that happens in about 3 or 4 days. We'll see those superseded players added, the likes of Zheng Taiyi as well.
5, 4, 3.
Now it is still an open table after that miss on the 4-ball from Fu Chiwei.
10秒.
Wasn't the easiest first ball he went for. That's the referee calling 10 seconds left. Doesn't get the 5-ball in, which means, yes, it is still an open table. Cue ball pretty much in the same position it was for CEASER. Having a look at the 6, there is more than half of that 6 available, or half at least. So can just spin it in. Oh yes, my mistake. Ronnie O'Sullivan's playing against Tipchaya. That is very true. Yeah, I think in that match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Tipchaya, they're on a break at the moment, with Tipchaya leading 5-4 over Ronnie. Evening session starts at 11:30 p.m. UK time. It continues. That is the China 2026 World Open on at the moment. That's the reason also we haven't had that many snooker players into this tournament this year around. Usually we have some of the top snooker players playing in this tournament. We've had Stuart Bingham, Mark Williams and the like playing in this. Some of the other matches moving quite fast. I see on table 5, Jason Turon 4-2 up against Jack Beggs. On table 7, Gareth Potts is 3-1 up against Alexi. That would be a winner's bracket match. Veronica Halliday 5-1 up against Li Buxian. That's on table 9. Got Jordan Shepherd playing at the moment as well, 4-3 up against Gan Bolsuran from Mongolia. Andrew Paget playing now also 4-all. Richard Halliday in action also 2-all with Julian Seradilla. Some really big matches on. We'll be checking on those score lines as the session goes. But here we have Fu Wei on the black ball and makes it this time. Smashes that in. Drilled in to equalize, and it's 2-all with CEASER CHINDAGA breaking in the next frame. Yes, correct. Zheng Yubo was playing yesterday, and he is not amongst the super seeded players, but is a seeded player. He didn't play in the Chinese qualification. He came in stage 1. Super seeded players are the players that have done very well in the Super Tour events from last year's Grandmasters, because as you know, the Grandmasters is the finale of the season, of the Heyball season. So the new season starts after this with the station events, 4 station events throughout the year. So the super seeded players are chosen from the Super Tour results, and that's why the question earlier, why was Niu Zhang not a super seeded player, yet he won last year's Grandmasters finals? Unfortunately, the previous year's Grandmasters finals doesn't have any bearing on the seeded players for the next year. So Zheng Yubo came in as a normally seeded player based on his performance in the Division 1 tour, where he did quite well to be a seeded player. The players that you haven't seen on the Chinese side yet, as somebody mentioned earlier, Kang Peng, Ru Liang, and Chu Bingxi, Zhang Tai, those are the players that will be coming through in the super seeded stage. Or very nearly getting just a touch on the 5 ball. That would have opened up the 14. Say CEASER's got to be a bit careful here. Can't afford to play too loosely, because once his opponent gets warmed up, was a good clearance he made in the previous frame. Yes, players like Kong Dejing as well will be coming through in that superseded. 16 superseded players. I did mention the list earlier. I think what we should do is actually post it on Facebook, the list of those superseded players, but it's all the big names that you haven't seen yet in action. That 3 ball is a bit tough for Fu Wei. Now, if you can get nicely on the 7, you could disturb the 3 ball. As we see the 4 goes cleanly enough into this bottom right corner pocket.
10秒。
Look, you can never underestimate the vast amount of experience that the player at the table right now has, having competed in so many of those world 9-ball championships at the highest level. See what I mean? He's getting dangerous. Read those last few pots so well to land perfectly on the 7. Watch the 5. You see, it's shots like that that show you that he's not used to this table. Because usually off the cushion like that on 9-ball table, you might get a bit more slide. You'll be able to just get past. So play this off the 13 into the center pocket. There you go. Almost as if he can hear me. That's the second time he's rattled a black ball. Unfortunately, it made such an excellent finish. Serve black ball brings CEASER CHINDAGA back to the table. The score is 2-all. Could park the cue ball behind the 15 here as he does. There comes a swerve, high elevation, bottom right side of the cue ball. What a shot that is. Oh my word. Now I have to be careful when I open the YouTube comment section. I really almost started laughing. You know, if I've answered a question already and it's asked again like 5 minutes after I answered it, if you put it in all caps, it doesn't mean it's going to get answered, just by the way. And also, guys on the stream, help me out if you see a question that I've answered before and you guys know the answer to it, just help the person out and help me out as well, please. I'm doing 100 different things here at the moment. And he had to smash that in again, didn't he? That's 3-2 in favor of WEI.
局，傅真伟开球。
So currently 3-2 up Fu Wei in this race to 13. It is alternate break. And he's up against CEASER CHINDAGA, the Scorpion from Uganda. Does look to me like Fu Wei is finding some sort of rhythm here in this match now. This is a bit of a tester. Oh, what a shot that is. Although some of his shots, I think we are going to have to check on the pockets after this match. He smashed them in so hard. But Joy build their table strong. If you are wondering, this is the Joy Q8 table, the golden leg table that you do hear about. Best playing conditions in the game of Heyball. We are in the home of Joy, Qinhuangdao. Home of Joy and the home of Heyball. Watch the black ball. A little bit close for comfort. Getting that black ball off the cushion there. And he's quite close to the 9 also. Look, he's a massive favorite at the moment for this frame. With the black ball being where it is, it means that Caesar's going to have a few issues. Especially the first one being the 3 ball, 2 ball next. Oh, look at that. Look at what he's done there. He's unlucky to not really be on this, but what a shot that was. Don't call him the draw prince for nothing. Super fine cut, this one, and it's there. Look at this. Fu Wei is turning into a highlight reel at the moment. The draw shot prince takes another frame. He's 4-2 up at the moment after 6 frames. What an absolute beauty of a shot that was from Fu Wei.
台球配件在线购物平台，乔氏甄选，品质无忧。
Now, the way the Grand Masters finals work, we have had a slight change in format this year, but I'll run it down for you guys. Starts off with the international qualifiers. It's the first 5 days, usually international qualifiers and Chinese qualifiers. We had 384 international participants. It was limited to 384 spots this year. Now you have to first qualify before you can get into the main stage of this tournament. The main stage starts after that opening ceremony you would have seen. So 384 players down to 96. 96 international players qualified to play in this tournament. Then we have the 32 seeded players coming in. Those are the players like CEASER, CHINDAGA, Gareth Potts and Chris Melling and such. They don't have to play in that qualifier. So then starts stage 1. That's the stage we are in right now. International players and Chinese players are still separate. The internationals are playing down to 32 players. No more added seeded players. And the Chinese play from 96 down to 48. They get the superseded players added, another 16, and then they play down to 32 as well. Once we have the top 32 Chinese players, the top 32 international players, then starts stage 2. That's an open draw mixed with those top 232, the top 32 of each, and it's single elimination down to the final. So 64 down to 1. Straight knockout, everything to play for, and the grand final will be on the 31st of March, and that is a race to 39, with the winner taking home over 700,000 US dollars, equates to 5 million RMB, local currency in China. And if you are watching from Africa or South Africa, worked it out to about 12.5 million rand, first prize for this tournament. At the moment, as we are in stage 1, it is double elimination. Now these two players are playing in the losers bracket, which means they've already taken a loss in the tournament, which means it's a must win to stay in the tournament. Loser, unfortunately, is on the next flight out of China and on their way home. WEI has definitely found another gear, and this is the experience I was talking about. You can't put a price on that. Now, if you have a look at the way he set up the pattern here, he's going to go 6-3, then naturally come out for the black ball into the left center pocket. That looks like the easiest route from here. This is a test of queuing, straight 6 into the bottom left. Wiggled in. This tournament, the Grand Masters Final, pays up to 240th place. 240th place gets just over $1,000. So at the moment, all the participants you see are getting paid. The way I worked it out and saw that If you make it through the qualifiers into the main draw, you get paid straight away. Oh, look at this from WEI. He takes his 5th point. He's 5-2 up now. So I see some comments about CEASER's opponent being an unknown. You guys should do yourself a favor and put his name into Google and you'll see how known he is. And you'll see the tournaments he's played in and you'll see what he's done in his career, and I think you'll find a new respect for this player. Adding to that he's never played in one of these Heyball tournaments before. As I said, he's from Chinese Taipei or Taiwan, and Taiwan produced some of the finest 9-ball players in the world. Mark my words, this is a dangerous player at the table. Oh, he's found the center of the pocket now. Was not an easy opening pot on stripes, but he has secured it. Striking them well. The confidence is there, the cueing is there. The format for this tournament has changed. It is alternate break format. You would have been used to seeing the winner break format. But from the start of the tournament, it is alternate break format. So far taking these stripes really well is WEI. Now this is the 8th frame. After this we will have a player break, so scores are either going to be 6-2 or 5-3. He's had a few issues with rattling black balls in the last few frames. I don't think that's going to be an issue now. He's found his cueing, he's got the confidence. Just want to touch on a topic quickly. I see a lot of questions as to why certain players are not here. The reason for that, if Heyball is not their primary discipline, you have to remember that there are so many tournaments around the world. It's a full calendar. It's a full Q Sport calendar. So if you're a 9-ball player you have to make choices, and you are going to go with 9-ball tournaments over Heyball tournaments. That's the reason why you don't see certain players here, plus sponsor obligations, tournaments they have to play in. No problem at all on that black ball. WEI smashes at 6-point home. He's 6-2 up against CEASER CHINDAGA after 8 frames played. That brings us to a 10-minute player break. We'll be back shortly.
百文台迷，高档羊毛皂，一线赛事指定台名：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等不例外一线球星代言，以百文全球销量第一。一点是聚焦、沉淀。 一线是专注、艺术；一面是缜密、智慧，方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。
frames. This is a race to 13 alternate break format. There's an interesting comment I saw on the YouTube page about the South Africans. The South Africans making a choice, a deliberate choice. Yes, it's very true indeed. The South African players, what I will say is many of them have made the choice to only focus on Heyball. Players like Jason Taron, the Halliday brothers, Marina Jacobs, recently Ethan Chetty, who has won all the junior titles in black ball. I think it was going to be just a matter of time before he was in an Opens final as well, but has made the choice to play Heyball only. And I think when you give this discipline your all, that's when you really see the best results from yourself. Now all the momentum with Fuchuwei before the player break. We'll see if CEASER can put a stop to that, because at the moment his opponent is running away with this match, 4 in the lead. And he's carrying on. He's looking at the 13. That tells me that he might be looking at banking that 13. So far those bank shots haven't worked for him yet. Hasn't got the hang of the cushions and the way they bounce. Almost. Very close. I think the pace kept that out, unfortunately. Chance for CEASER to get a 3rd point on the board here. I've watched CEASER play quite a bit. He is the Commonwealth billiard champion as well. Won that in Mauritius last year. And usually his shot selection is excellent. His pattern play, the way he goes about a finish. Usually the least amount of work to do with the cue ball, that's the route he takes. And just like that, floats the cue ball in and out of these small areas. Yeah, now this is what we are used to seeing from CEASER. This is how he normally goes about a finish. Needs a cue ball to slow down a bit, it's okay. And it's their normal service resumed from CEASER. He gets his 3rd point on the board. The score 6-3 in favor of Fuchuwei. So 6-3, one break and run, one rack and run for Fu Chuwei. And he should be at the table to break now. 10th frame to get underway. Now that finish in the previous frame, that was more like the CEASER we used to seeing. Another big break, pots the 5-ball in to the right center pocket. To play this game at a high level, it requires so much of time. It's very difficult to come from another cue sport discipline and just rock up and perform at a high level in this game. It's very, very difficult. You would have seen recently that the Ko brothers, they won a tournament, a large tournament in China. But before that, which they did say, I saw an interview, they bought a Heyball table, they practiced for about a month. And what they even said is they practiced until their backs hurt, their hands hurt. That's how much. You're talking 8 to 10 hours a day plus in order to get ready for that tournament. They are excellent 9-ball players, some of the best in the world. But still, that's the kind of work they had to put in. Oh, that's a brilliant pot. He cued that so well. Tactical move to pot the 7, cue ball off the 12. You could see the left-hand side on the cue ball to try and swing it around the 10 to get it safe from the 4. Very good question asked that since jumps are illegal in black ball, would CEASER be comfortable jumping in Heyball? I haven't had a look at his cues, whether he has a jump cue there. I think he does. And I'm pretty sure with all the time he spent in China and all these tournaments, he has learnt to jump as well. Haven't seen him using the jump cue. But it is a very important shot in this game. Very, very important. And that's what these players do. They actually have a look at your cues before or during the match to see if you have a jump cue there. And if you don't, they know where they can put the cue ball and how tight they need to make the snooker. And the level at which some of these players can jump as well is insane. It's not only a jump shot to get out of a snooker, it's pot and position as well.
10秒。5、4、3。
Just enough. I think it's rolled just enough past the 2. Problem is he has to get the cue ball up table. Still has the 10 and the 12 in balk. Oh, but look at how straight he is on this 14. absolutely straight, and you can't really cheat pockets here, so it's gonna have to be a deep screw to try and get the cue ball up table. Yeah, that's enough. I do believe Vincent Halliday won his match earlier today. I think Vincent Halliday is in the losers bracket but won his match earlier. Richard Halliday is playing at the moment on table 21. He's up against Julian Serradilla. Let's have a look at the scoreline there. It was 4-all. Still is 4-all. If you want to have a look at that match, head over to WPAlive.tv where you can find every single table live stream there. Position for the black ball. Needs to find the gap between 1 and 6. Has the gap. Look at the line that he's found there. This was not an easy finish at all. A lot of cue ball movements required up and down the table. Great stuff from Fuchuwei. Gets his 7th point on the board. He's 7-3 up after 10 frames played in this race to 13. Smashes that black ball home. Wiggled in, but made it nonetheless. Yeah, so Ethan Chetty as well from South Africa, still in the losers bracket, but won his match early this morning. Opponent didn't show, so 13-0 to Ethan Chetty. He moves on in the losers bracket. I believe he will be in action tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's the only thing with the losers bracket, you're going to be playing quite a lot every morning at least. Winners bracket, you usually get a day off. Back at the table is Fu Chuwei. He's not going to be too happy with that cue ball, but gotta say something about his potting now. He's finding the center of the pocket really nicely. Looking at some of the scores, I see table 4, Jeremy Chai from Malaysia, 9-2 up on Marina Jacobs from South Africa. Jason Taron, 6-all with Jack Beggs from New Zealand, that's on table 5. Gareth Potts, 7-1 up against Alexei, that is on table 7. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, getting the kiss off the 3 was always going to be sending the cue ball forward. D. Damdenhams from Mongolia, 9-2 up against David Anderson from South Africa. Veronica Halliday, 7-3 up against Li Buxian. Phoneman Cure was in action. Yang Xiaojie on table 10. He is 12-3 up at the moment with 3 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. Now that's the kind of form we expect from Phoneman. Should be just a matter of time before we have him on the TV table. Haley White against Ganlufsen Dorje. Ganlufsen Dorje at the moment 10-4 up on Haley White from New Zealand. That's table 14. Kyle Keith Akalu on table 15. 8-1 up against Beg Archibald from Mongolia. Jordan Shepherd also 7-5 up against Gan Bolsuren from Mongolia. Waratanan Sukrathanas and Yip King Ling tied at 6-all, table 19. Look at the pots that Fu Chiwei is making. He's really kicked it up a notch, has he? Jack Whelan 6-4 up against Liu Fei. And Richard Halliday and Julian Serradilla 5-all at the moment. So ask the referee. The referee for extension, no extension. Oh, what a pot that is. What a pot that is. I think he wanted a slight kiss on either the 9 or the 15 to slow the cue ball down. This black ball now to take an 8-3 lead in this race to 13. And it's there. 8 pointers there. He's 8-3 up on CEASER CHINDAGA after 11 frames played. Yeah, I think I said it a few frames ago that you have to be careful for Fu Chiwei. You have to respect the pedigree and the experience that he comes into this game with. Although he's never played in one of these Heyball tournaments before, his Q Sport experience and his background in American pool makes him such a force to be reckoned with. All it takes is a bit of calibration, and that's the result. At the moment, 8-3 up, Fu Chiwei to break. He's been having some good breaks, usually potting a ball in one of the center pockets. The 2 just moved by the 14 this time. It looks like it is a dry break, unfortunately for him. As we see that again. Yeah, the 2-14 just misses out on the left center pocket. CEASER CHINDAGA to the table. This is now a mountain to climb for CEASER, but needs to find something here. A chance is a chance. Come around to have a look at whether it's 2 passes the 14 into that top left corner. And from here it's hard to tell, but the 14 is not completely in the jaws of that pocket, so there might be space if you go cushion first off the 14 and in. Or another test of queuing for Fujiwei. Yeah, he doesn't look like missing now, does he? And he's queuing them so well, he's drilling them into the back of the pocket. This is also a tough one. You find the Chinese players practicing the shot so many times in the practice room. What can you say about that? Deadly accurate at the moment. He has landed on that 2 ball that he was looking at earlier. There is no time limit on these matches. The only time there was a time limit was in the qualifying stage, but from stage 1 to the end, no time limit. Little bounce on the 7, that's worked out okay. That's not bad at all. There the 2 goes past. Cushion first off the 14. Not only is he potting so well at the moment, he's reading the game really well. Position for the 5 around 2 cushions. That's a 9-ball player's shot. Using the cushions like that with running side, letting the natural angle flow the cue ball around. Now when you say a player is an American pool player, not only do they play 9-ball, they also play American 8-ball, which is very similar to this. It's just a different table, but the patterns remain the same. Oh, what a piece of good fortune for him. Hand goes up. Oh, my word. The pool gods are with him at the moment. I'm sure Caesar and the Caesar fans on the stream are not going to be too happy with that one. This is currently a loser's bracket match, which means the player that loses this match is on the next flight home out of the tournament. This black ball for a 9-3 lead for WEI. Close. It's there. Cue ball stays on the table as well. He's 9-3 up against Caesar CHINDAGA in this race to 13. At the moment, 9-3 down, Caesar CHINDAGA to break. And this is how cruel this game can be. When you are down, when you need things to work for you, when you need a little bit of good fortune on your side, it's your opponent that'll get it and you won't. Try break from Caesar. Lets his opponent back to the table. This is the last session of the day today. We have 3 sessions. The 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. local time here in China. The stream will be back on at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And if you haven't already, then after this game, head over to WPAlive.tv and you'll be able to see all the other games still on. Every single table is being streamed there. Oh, and here we go again. A little touch on the 10. Look at that. Everything is going his way now. Look, I have to say, with the way he's been playing over the last few frames, does deserve the few good rolls he is getting at the moment as WEI. Could use the 6 to just disturb the 1 ball here, because that's the only tough ball I see. What you want to do is catch it about half ball, quarter ball, and push it down the cushion as if you're actually trying to pot the ball. If he does that, he should land on the 7 and push the 1 towards the top left corner pocket. I think there's enough angle on the 6 to do that with. Now deciding against that means he wants to pot the 1 as it is. This is not an easy shot on these tables. What makes it look easy, and the more distance between that ball from the pocket and the closer it is to the cushion, that's what makes it tough. You are playing into such a small pocket. The pocket at the slate drop is only 85 millimeters wide. The ball is 57.2 millimeters. Now that's 85 millimeters when you are right in front of the pocket. Now put the ball on the cushion. You've only got just over half the pocket to aim at, and that's about the size of the ball, so you're actually using the jaw to get the ball in. Very tough shot indeed, those ones. Which is why you also see the Chinese players practicing that shot so many times, because if you can pot that ball regularly, it means your cue action, your alignment, everything is working. It's not a shot that comes up that often in a match. Maybe in a match you might see it once or twice. But by practicing that shot, it means you have a higher percentage if it comes. And altogether, it just means that your fundamentals are better. Your cueing. And it means you have a higher percentage on all straight shots around the table. What can you say about this player at the table? He's taken these so well in the last few frames, and that's double digits for CHINDAGA. 10-3 up against CEASER CHINDAGA. I feel that's the only way to get to another level in this game, is to you just have to look at what other top Chinese players doing and replicate. There's a reason why they are practicing 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day. They're already miles ahead. So if you are practicing less than them, they're just going to keep getting further and further ahead. Makes a ball on the break as well. That's the 10 in top right corner pocket. I think that's also something you see when you come to China, is you learn to appreciate the culture, the discipline of the people here, and like in the station events, we all practice together, the international players and the Chinese players. So you could be practicing on this table, and next to you is Zhao Ruliang practicing, or Xun Kongpeng, or Chu Bingxi as well. So you're seeing exactly the work ethic and what these players are doing. Something that's very noticeable is before a match in the practice room, win or lose after a match in the practice room. They don't let a tournament affect their practice routine. That's what we are up against as international players. Now there is only one international player that's actually been able to win this Grandmasters event, and that's Gareth Potts. He's won it 3 times. But look at the practice he puts in as well. If you can cue the ball that well as he can, and you're still putting in hours a day, That's what it requires. Next on that list would be Phonement. From Myanmar, but lives in China. Plays with the Chinese players, plays a lot with the Chinese players. For the first time, Fu Zhiwei hasn't got a favorable role. I don't think he can get to the 12. He might have to go indirectly to the 11 that's sitting at the bottom right corner pocket. Close, very close. It's there. Everything's going. Everything is going at the moment. And that brings CEASER CHINDAGA back to the table. 10-3 down at the moment. Has to make something happen. Has to change the game. They're all there for him on solids. Cue ball very close to the cushion on the left side, which means he's not going to take the 4. He's going to take the combination here. Yeah, nicely done from CEASER. Looks set to take his 4th point here. And if it's 10-4, will be his break in the next frame. I'm very surprised at that. Very, very surprised. Tried to play that with top running side to come around for the black ball, but not an easy shot to play, not a nap cloth. Very, very different reaction then from the black ball table. Oh, and he's not missing. He's not missing. He's very, very in tune to this game. I've been asked when will my female counterpart be joining me. You must be talking about Lenyukta Chetty. So she's busy with work at the moment, but she will be joining me for the final of this tournament. It is a race to 39. And possibly before that as well. Do appreciate that comment, and I'm sure she'd be happy to see that comment as well. Yeah, I'm still surprised at the miss on the 4 ball. I would have expected him to just screw it back a bit for the black ball, but Unfortunately, not able to convert this frame yet. But Fujiwei does. He's 11-3 up now in this race to 13. It is CEASER CHINDAGA's break in the next frame. That's 14 frames played at the moment.
15局凯撒唱架开球。
And that is a dry break for CEASER, unfortunately, and things just not going in his favor.
10秒。延时。
One more clearance from Fujiwei would mean that he's on the hill in this match. And that makes it very, very difficult indeed for CEASER to come back in this. What has he left himself with? Does the 13 go past 2 and 1? It looks like he's looking at it. There must be enough space there between those two solids. Definitely is. Needs the cue ball to slow down. Like he's been potting quite a few of these recently, but having the cue ball there, this 11 is... It's a slight cutback now. These are tricky shots. Blind pocket, cutback. Too good. Too good. Calibrated so well to knowing where the sweet spot is of that pocket. Yeah, if there was ever a question as to how accurate a 9-ball player can be, there's your answer. Yes, on a 9-ball table they have a lot more room for error, and you can catch to the cushion halfway down and pot the ball, but this is how accurate they can be. As soon as that point of alignment is calibrated and you know exactly where the center of the pocket is and where the sweet spot is, around the 7, up table for the black ball. There it comes. The pace here is so important. Too low and it's difficult, too high and you can't see the black ball. And it's there, he's on the hill.
比分12比3。
What a performance from Fu Chiwei.
老鹰交边，乔氏官方合作伙伴，冠军品质，成就梦想。全球每100张高端台球桌就有1张搭配老鹰胶条。通过高分子纳米配方，我们让橡胶拉伸强度提升40%，回弹误差0.03毫米。每一道工序全程数控化。 每条胶边都需要经历严苛的平整度检测，确保每延米承载10万次冲击不变形。顶级赛事官方认可，精准回弹，每一次撞击释放力量本。
Now the score is 12-3 in favor of Fu Chiwei, and he's potted a ball on the break. He's on the hill. It's a 13 in to the left center pocket. Having a look at the schedule for tomorrow, we have the international group round 2 and round 3 playing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Afterwards at 2 p.m. we have round 3 of the international group again. And I do think we will have also, should be round 3 of the Chinese group also playing at 2 p.m. Should be one more match on the losers bracket side of the Chinese group. Yeah, I did see a question of when Jing Yubo is playing, so he'll be playing tomorrow actually at 2 p.m. He is in the losers bracket of the Chinese group stage 1, so must win at the moment for him. He took that first loss, and that was on the TV table to Xu Jinqi. One after that to Yang Fan 13-11, plays tomorrow. So we'll actually have the international group and the Chinese group playing at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Not together, but they'll be playing at the same time. once again, Fu Zhiwei on a clearance here. These last, I'd say, almost 10 frames have been clinical. Absolutely flawless. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I will not be surprised if he makes it into the top 32 of the international players and makes it to stage 2. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Because if you can perform like this on the TV table, there's always more pressure on the TV table. Always. And you're playing against fan favorites. CEASER CHINDAGA. Pressure on there too. And it's there. 13-3 victory for Fu Zhiwei over CEASER CHINDAGA from Uganda. What a performance from the player from Taiwan. Absolutely unbelievable. Cool, calm, collected. That's all I can say. That's experience right there. And I did say it. I said it earlier. Be careful for him. You could see there were signs that he was coming. You could see it early in the match. The experience coming out, and there were a few disrespectful comments that we saw earlier, and I said, Google his name and you'll see exactly who he is. Then you'll find a new respect for that player, and I think we all have found a new respect for Fu Zhiwei. Brilliantly done. He is through to the next round of the losers bracket. Will be in action tomorrow. So next session tomorrow at 10 AM, guys. That's local time here in China. Thank you guys so much for being on the stream. Hope to see you tomorrow on the stream. I'm your commentator for the Joy Heyball events, Raymond Talak from South Africa. It's been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.